And good morning. Good morning, explorers. Welcome to another segment of Be and Explore. We have a special guest, as we have been doing the past few Fridays. And today we're back in the US with geography teacher and my good friend and a National Geographic certified educator and former Grosvenor Teacher Fellow, and I think an actual explorer, Judith Painter. So before we travel down to Virginia to visit them, I just want to do a check-in with everybody here. We are having a beautiful day in Pierre. I'm inside today for various reasons, but it looks like no cloud cover. It looks like I'm looking at the trees outside in the yard and I'm seeing no movement of even the grasses or the leaves. So we are at a Beaufort scale of 0. And I haven't been outside, so I don't know what the temperature, the body thermometer is telling me yet. So body thermometer is nice, hot, nice, chilly, or ice, for those of you who may not be familiar with that. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Judith from Virginia. Good morning, Judith.
Good morning to everybody.
Go ahead and introduce who is with you.
Okay, I'm Judith Painter.
I'm Sam Painter.
I'm Emma Painter.
I'm the shortest in the family.
You're joining us from Virginia. And I do have a map here. I'm going to go ahead and share that real quick. This dot up here is currently where we are in Pierre, South Dakota. And you all are down here in Roanoke, Virginia. Did I say that right? We were having a discussion beforehand about how to pronounce it, because I think people around here will understand how challenging it is. We live in Pierre, even though it's spelled Pierre. So tell us about your county that you live in. What's it called and what's it like?
Well, we live in Roanoke County, and which is right next to Salem and Roanoke City. It is one of the largest populations on this side of the Blue Ridge Mountains once you get down into that southwest corner of Virginia. About 250,000 people live in this area. Once you get outside of the cities, you get into woods like you see behind us. A lot of national park area and national forest area is around us. Lots of national forest. The Appalachian Trail goes right past us. So that's kind of our area.
Yeah, that's really very different than what we have here in South Dakota. We're a grasslands biome, and so when we're outside, we don't see those kinds of trees. So that is really a lot of trees.
Here.
We see those kinds of trees like near rivers, but yeah, wow, that is a lot of trees. And in a moment, you're going to tell us about some of those trees. But first, tell us what the climate, the weather is like where you are right now. Are you feeling chilly? I mean, you're all wearing like hoodies or long sleeve shirts, so it's not hot. But what's the weather like there?
No, we're getting that blast of Arctic air that is coming down. So in fact, tonight we're under a freeze warning, which is a little worrisome for our garden and some of the apple and peach trees that have started coming out. We have decent sized peaches on some of the trees, and that's a little worrisome. Then we're supposed to get back up into the 60s and 70s by next week and weekend. So right now it's in the 50s. It's got a little bit of a nip to the air. Not really probably a nip for you all. The 50s might feel good. But it's definitely gotten chillier tonight. I think we're supposed to go into the 30s, and last night, maybe tonight, some of the areas just to the west of us are supposed to get snow showers. This is our typical cold May snap. There's always one like this around Mother's Day.
Whoa. Yeah. Well, we had a frost, a mild frost last night. So, yeah. But we're in
We
the
haven't
middle of
had
it.
we haven't had a frost in probably a month.
Yeah. So
So-
it's just fascinating because, well, anyway, we're not here to talk about weather. We're here to talk about some of the observations that you want to show us. We've been talking a lot here on Be an Explorer about the app iNaturalist and Seek and how to use it. And we've been looking at other observations, like we went to Costa Rica and looked at some of the observations made there, and Mexico, and over to the UK. So show us some of the things that are growing there in the forest in Virginia.
Okay, we've been lucky enough to have a lot of wildflowers and other things. So Sam's going to show you one of our first finds that came with the courtesy and help of my brother. So let me flip it around. Okay, Sam, what do you have?
I have greenbriers.
And what do can you show us a greenbrier plant?
Here.
And
There's bigger ones somewhere else.
you can see the thorns on the greenbrier plant? And what Sam has got in his hands are these little parts that grow off the shoots.
And these shoots, the thorns on them, they're not very spiky, so
Can you put your hand behind a thorn?
There isn't one right now, I don't think.
I think we have gotten ones that don't have enough
Oh,
here's
thorn,
a
but they're
little one,
tiny,
but-
tiny thorns, so they don't hurt you.
There's little bumps.
And deer like to eat these, so we noticed that our patch is pretty well decimated by the deer. But you can also eat the leaves and the shoots. So Sam is going to demonstrate. He's going to probably eat them all. He really likes greenbriers. And sorry, there goes our greenbriers to show you. How do they taste, Sam?
Good. But you can eat the shoots, so, oh, that's so cool.
So you can eat the shoots. The greenbrier plant we found here is pretty small, so the shoots aren't really good ones, but farther up the trail we had better ones, and that's where we grabbed these. Are you ready for the next thing?
What?
Anne, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what do they taste like?
Okay, Sam, what do they taste like?
They taste kind of like lettuce.
Kind
Just
of,
like
but
raw
they're
lettuce.
also, when you get to the bottom, kind of, they taste kind of sour. But they're good.
Have you ever had peas, like fresh peas out of the pod?
Have you
That's
ever
what they taste
eaten
like.
grass?
Oh,
They taste like grass and sour. Because I've eaten grass.
It's been a while since I've eaten grass. The kind that grows in the yard. Actually, we're actually going to be talking about sourdough and wheat and everything next week. And I believe wheat is a kind of grass. So technically, I have eaten grass, but not the kind that grows in the yard. So let's show us what else you've got there.
okay, hold on. We're shifting the camera.
Goodbye.
Watch study. So we have lady slippers, and the lady slippers. Sam, move back for a second. Start here and go all the way across this area of the woods. And so we've been told by somebody that they're actually a pretty big colony. So this is a lady slipper, and you can see the leaf structure here. It goes down, and I'll try to remove the pollen out of the way. And it goes down.
To hop in real quick. I'm getting a note from Sarah that your camera is upside down. So if you could flip your camera when it's
upside down.
yeah.
Sorry, Emma flipped us.
Is it good? Is it good now?
Are you good now?
I think so. Yeah. I'll wait for Sarah to give me the thumbs up, but continue on. She says it's good, so go ahead.
Okay, so down here in the bottom part, you can see, Sam, go closer to the bottom.
Oh.
You can see how it goes down with two leaves into the stem goes down into the base. And then as you come up, you'll see that the lady slipper creates a slipper is what it looks like. And then you've got the two parts of the flower and the top. And then if you can look, I don't know if Sam can get us close enough in with it not going fuzzy on us, but each of these leaves has like little hairs all over it.
Yeah, I can see them through the camera.
So, and
Yeah, you can see
So
them
let's
really
see.
well. Look at this.
All right, I'm gonna steal it from you for
No,
a
I
second
want to.
because I want to step over here. We're trying not to step on any of them, and that's why we're moving carefully. So this is one that doesn't have a flower coming up. And then there's another one right here that Sam's going to get you to give you a different angle. See if you can go down around this side, Sam. Just be careful when you step over here. So come around. All right. So he's going to try to give you a look from the bottom coming up.
Ouch. Oh, I am.
Yep. Okay.
So,
All right.
while you're situating your camera angle, we have a couple of questions from our good friend Becky Schnexer, and she
You're
wants
showing your
to
thumb.
know that does that make it a dicot? And I think that means, and then she wants to know, do the hairs play a role in pollination? So I'm not sure. This is a little delayed, so I'm not sure when she says, does that make it a dicot, what we were talking about when she asked that.
Becky's got me on that one because I have no idea. I have just become a wildflower enthusiast with staying at home and not being, able to go anywhere else. I've been coming out and taking pictures of all the wildflowers and learning slowly about them.
Whoa.
So she's got me on that one.
So for my rather limited knowledge, dicot has branched veins in the leaves, while the monocots have parallel veins in the leaves. So lilies are.
I was gonna say these are parallel, aren't they?
So where you're looking?
Can I have it?
Yeah.
These seem to be parallel. I'll go back and give you the leaf again. It doesn't look like it branches at all. So that would be my thought.
Yeah, Becky's pointing out that 2 leaves at the base of the plant, she thinks that might make it a dicotyledon. So I guess that's one to look up. That is one to look up real quick. And so while before we go on to our next question, we have or our next plant, we have a question from Agatha about the temperature right now, or the weather is usually like, what the weather is usually like. And we addressed that at the beginning, but just to do a brief recap about the weather, what's it usually like there? I mean, you seem like in your comments, you indicated that you felt like we were really cold here in South Dakota. So tell us like what your cold is, your warm, that kind of temperature range.
Well, right now we should be in the 60s and 70s during the day, and maybe 50s in the evening. And this is definitely cooler because it's 50s and going to the 30s tonight. So definitely a cooler.
50s is cold.
50s is cold. we've been out in shorts and t-shirts, and Emma's been getting sunburned. So it's definitely been warmer here. Now, granted, we did hit a couple of 80s. Definitely, we did hit a couple of 80s recently, but that's more unusual to get up to the upper 80s.
Okay, and I am getting word from Sarah that you're back upside down. So.
Oh, good golly. How'd that happen? Because I haven't flipped it. Okay. We will flip it again.
Yeah. So.
Are you good now?
I believe so. I can't see, and I don't know that everybody sees it flipped. So I'll check the comments to see if other people, I've not seen anything like that to that end. So, okay, so go ahead and show us your next plant. It looks like we lost them for a bit.
We were trying to flip it, and I think we hit a button.
So we are getting that from some of our viewers that it looks okay to some people. So okay.
Okay.
All right. So
all right.
Back and show us your next plant.
Okay. Now, when I flip it, make sure we're still right side up. Are we?
I'll let you know if you're not,
okay.
But I'm not seeing a comment. Nope, she says upside down.
Okay, so it must be when we flip it. Okay, that's good to know. All right.
Okay, so this is a tree that I have loved forever, just the kind of plant. So basically, this is a sassafras tree, and sassafras, mostly the way that I had seen them my entire life, is as tiny little roots and just like little tiny plants. And so I've always known that you can just pull them out and then you can smell them and they smell like sassafras, which is basically the smell of root beer. And so if you scratch the roots, you can smell it. But also, apparently, if you rub the leaves of the tree together, then it'll smell like the sassafras that is in root beer. And so sassafras trees are distinct in that they have a certain kind of leaves. So each sassafras tree has a three, well, at least most of the time, each plant has a one with a three. And then this one only has two kinds of leaves. There's usually three kinds of leaves on it. There's a one, and then, so here's the one. One leaf, three leaves, and then, well, three shoots, and then two shoots, a mitten. So there's usually three distinct ones. And so also what I learned is that a sassafras tree has a distinct kind of bark. And so the bark is, it turns red, like an adobe color. Can you see it? Like when you flip the bark off, it is a adobe color. And so that is one of the distinct ways you know it's a sassafras tree, along with the leaves up in the tree. This tree only seems to have 3 prongs and a 1 prong from what I've seen. So that it just varies depending on the tree. And like the one we were looking at before, this little fellow only has 3 and barely a 1. So it just depends on the plant as to whether or not they have all 3 kinds of leaves, like some of the ones down here, if they even make it to this big. Some of them are picked up by me and my love of sassafras, and others get to go bigger or get eaten. So it just depends. But this is a sassafras tree, and I love it. Hug a tree.
Can I flip it?
I love that you're hugging the tree. That is really gratifying. Well, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful space today. It kind of makes me want to come visit.
Come
You're
as soon
welcome.
as we're able.
What's that?
As soon as we're allowed to come.
Yeah, there are all these places I want to go. We can't go. Oh, hello, Mary. Mary Ford from National Geographic has joined us as well. So we have a lot of our friends out apparently in the audience today. So this has been awesome. You are on iNaturalist, and people can go on iNaturalist. We'll put your project links in our show notes. So if people want to see more plants and animals and flowers and insects and everything that you've been sharing through iNaturalist, they can go to your project and look it up there. So that's a cool thing about iNaturalist. We get to travel all over the world right in our computers. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. I just want to let you know that at the Discovery Center, we have your own Explorer kits. I'll be talking more about those next week. They have a notebook and a thermometer. They're for sale on our website. We'll also be looking at sourdough, all about sourdough. And bad news, good news, sad news, good news is next week is our last full week of Be an Explorer. We're going to take a short break to get ready for summer, and we'll have more awesome things for the summer. So, and we're going to culminate next Friday with a camp out. So get your tents, get your blankets, get your old sheets ready, because we're all going to go out in our backyards. Maybe you have to do it after you watch the live stream, and we're going to camp out because explorers go into the field. So thank you so much. Stay safe, stay curious, and go explore.